In this video, we will discuss about Johnson's behavioral model. Coming to the background of the theorist, Dorothy E. Johnson, she was born on August 21st, 1919 in Georgia. She achieved her basic science and graduation in nursing from University of Nashville in 1942. And she achieved her Master of Public Health from Harvard University in 1948. From 1949 till her retirement in 1978, she was worked as an assistant professor of pediatric nursing, in an associate professor of nursing, and professor of nursing at the University of California, Los Angeles. Johnson stressed the importance of research-based knowledge about the effect of nursing care on clients. Coming to the behavioral system model, Dorothy E. Johnson first proposed her model of nursing care in 1968 as fostering of the efficient and effective behavioral functioning in the patients to prevent illness. She also stated that nursing was concerned with man as an integrated whole, and this is the specific knowledge of order we require. In 1980, Johnson published her conceptualization of behavioral system model of for nursing, where she explains her definition of behavioral system model. Coming to the behavioral system, Johnson's model views the person as a behavioral system comprised of a set of organized, interactive, interdependent, and integrated subsystems. The system maintains consistency through actions and behavior that are regulated and controlled by biological, psychological, and sociological factors. The behavioral system continually strives to maintain a steady state by adjusting and adapting to internal and external forces. Each subsystem has structural requirements. These requirements must be met by the person alone or through outside assistance. Johnson defines 7 subsystems that carry out special functions for the system as a whole. She defines nursing as an external regulatory force which acts to preserve the organization and integration of the patient's behavior at an optimum level under those conditions in which the behavior constitutes a threat to the physical or social health or which illness is found. She says about 4 goals to assist the patient whose behavior commensurate with the social demands, who is able to modify his behavior in ways that supports the biological imperatives, who is able to benefit to the fullest extent during illness from the physician's knowledge and skill, whose behavior does not give evidence of unnecessary trauma as a consequence of illness. Coming to the assumptions, there are several layers of assumptions that Johnson makes in the development of conceptualization of behavioral system model. So that can be divided into 3 groups. So it is assumptions about system, assumptions about structure, assumptions about functions. So we will move on to in detail about the assumptions about system. Dorothy E. Johnson says that there is organization, interaction, interdependency, and integration of the parts and elements of behavior that go to make up the system. Then she says system tends to achieve balance among various forces operating within and upon it. Behavioral system requires and results in some degree of regularity and consistency in the behavior. And she says that her assumption about system is, she says that system balance reflects adjustment and adaptation that are successful in some way or and to some extent. Coming to the assumptions about structure and function of each subsystem, she says that each individual has a predisposition to act with reference to the goal in certain ways rather than the other way. This predisposition is called as set. Each subsystem has a scope of action. Subsystem produces an observable outcome, that is the individual's behavior. So Johnson's behavioral model says about 7 subsystems. They are affiliative subsystem, dependency, inductive, eliminative subsystem, sexual, aggressive, and achievement subsystem. So we will move on to each subsystem in detail. The first one is affiliative subsystem. It is the first subsystem to develop in an individual. It forms the basis for all social organization and it forms the interpersonal relationship. This subsystem promotes survival and provides a sense of security, and the activities in this subsystem results in social inclusion, intimacy, and the formation of strong social bonds. Next is the dependency subsystem. Dependency subsystem promotes helping or nurturing behavior from others. It closely parallel to the affiliative subsystem. It results in approval, attention, recognition, and physical assistance. Next is the ingestive subsystem. It involves food intake. It relates to the biological need for food and the psychological meanings and structures of social events surrounding food consumption. It results in appetite satisfaction. Next is the eliminative subsystem. It involves behavior surrounding the excretion of waste from the body. It includes the psychological meaning and structures of socially acceptable behavior for waste elimination. And this is based on the learned behavior. Next is the sexual subsystem. It involves behavior associated with the procreation and sexual gratification. It includes psychologically and socially acceptable behavior such as courtship and mating. It results in the development of sexual role identity and sexual role behavior. Aggressive subsystem. Aggressive subsystem involves the behavior related to self-protection and preservation of self and society. It includes the belief that aggression is learned and harmful and that people and property must be respected and protected. It includes the acknowledgement of real or imaginary dangers to develop defenses to these threats. Achievement subsystem. The last one. It involves the behavior related to manipulation of the environment to gain mastery and control and is measured against a standard of excellence. In this subsystem, the activities include the intellectual, physical, creative, mechanical, and social skills. So these are the 7 subsystems Dorothy Johnson says in her behavioral system model. So she says that there are some functional requirements of subsystem. So here she says each subsystem has 3 functional requirements. The functional requirement first one is each subsystem must be protected from noxious influences with which the system cannot cope. Subsystem must be nurtured through the input of appropriate supplies from the environment. Subsystem must be stimulated for the use to enhance growth and prevent stagnation. So when there is an imbalance in any of the system, any of the subsystem, which results in disequilibrium. So here the role of the nurse is to assist the client to return to the state of equilibrium by assisting or helping the person to achieve the balance between each subsystem. So this is the Johnson's behavioral system model. When you are moving to the model, when there is an external stress or forces that will causes a disequilibrium in any one of the 7 subsystems. So these 7 subsystems constitute the behavioral system, that is the patient. So any of the stresses or any of the disorders may influence or may cause imbalance in the subsystem, may lead to either it may lead to effective functioning or adaptation, or it may lead to ineffective adaptation. So this is the behavioral system model schematic representation given by Dorothy Johnson. So Johnson's model says that we will set a goal will be set by the system, that is the patient, and by choosing any of the subsystem and getting the assistance from the nursing, the subsystem equilibrium will be attained, and the output will be exhibited as the behavior. It can be adaptive or it can be ineffective behavior. Coming to the meta paradigm. First one is person. Johnson explains person as having two major systems, the biological system and the behavioral system. The role of the medicine is to focus on the biological system, whereas the nursing is focusing on the behavioral system of the person. Next is the environment. She relates environment on which the individual exists. According to Johnson, an individual's behavior is influenced by the events in the environment. Next is health. It is a purposeful adaptive response physically, mentally, emotionally and socially to internal and external stimuli in order to maintain the stability and comfort. The last is the nursing. She defined nursing as a primary goal is that to foster the equilibrium within the individual. Nursing is concerned with the organized and integrated whole, but that the major focus is on maintaining a balance in the behavioral system when illness occurs in an individual. So this is about the meta paradigm described in the Johnson's behavioral model. Coming to the strengths of the theory, the behavioral model guides nursing practice, education and research. It generates new idea about nursing, which differentiate nursing from other health professions. This model is used in inpatient, outpatient and community settings as well as in nursing administration. It provides a framework or a frame of reference for nurses concerned with specific client behavior. It can also be generalized across the lifespan and across the cultures. Coming to the limitations, the theory does not clearly interlace the concept of subsystem comprising the behavioral system model. The definition of concept is so abstract that they are very difficult to use. It is very difficult to test the Johnson's model by development of a hypothesis. This application of this theory is difficult for nurses to work with physically impaired when they are working with physically impaired individuals, because it is focusing on the behavioral aspect of a person. And this model is very individual oriented. So the nurses working with the group have difficulty in its implementation, and also again because of its individuality, the family of the individual is only considered as an environment in this model. It does not define the expected outcome when one of the system is affected by a nursing implementation. So any of the subsystem is influenced by a nursing implementation or a nursing intervention. The outcome, how the outcome will be, that is not defined in this Johnson's behavior model, and also the model is not flexible. So these are about the strengths and limitation of the Johnson's behavioral model.